for Hal Harper, I was always Hal. I felt in my body no one is going to play Hal in the way that I need Hal to be played.
Cooper, I gotta say, this is such a rich tapestry to deal with. You're dealing with very real problems in a very real situation, which we don't see a lot in television.
Yeah. I
What
yeah.
this is personal. Where did this come from, dude?
It came out of thin air, and I keep saying that, but I really did. Helen Harper and Dad aren't based on any people from my life. I think they just I've been with them for like over 10 years now. I started writing scenes with Helen Harper uh, like my freshman year of college, and I think at first it was just fun for me to write them, and it wasn't for anyone but me. And they taught me a lot, and they were endlessly fascinating to me, and I really love them, and I'm really passionate about them. And at some point I was like, I think an audience would get something out of their story as well. Um and so over the course of many years I started to write their story in a way that I thought an audience could digest and find a similar sense of healing inside of that I found.
Yeah, it really is healing. It's beautifully done. Lily, I've got to say, with your performance, this is a nice change for you from what I've seen you in before. How did you approach this character? Do you know anyone like this?
I mean, do I know anyone like her? I've never, I was never like, oh, she's like this person in my life, but she felt familiar to me. And I think that's because she felt so human to me. Like there were so many facets of her that I think like little bits and pieces of her, I feel recognize in people and that I know or even that I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, and I was also, I mean, I was so blessed and lucky that this was the first thing that I did right after Riverdale. I think this is exactly the type of tone and sort of story that I couldn't have crafted something better in a lab for myself to do right after the show. And I just feel to have been able to do it is incredible. And I'm really so lucky. It was the best script I'd ever read. And I was really knew how special it was to be able to play, you know, a third grade version of the adult character as well in the same project. And also to have the platform of a 8 episodes with which to tell that story felt also extremely lucky to me. You know, it wasn't a one and done sort of thing. It was like people could sit with this character for I don't know, 8 episodes. And that felt also really special to me. And like it was a really good way to tell this whole family story.
Well, yeah, I gotta go back to you, man, because again, it feels so personal. And how you wrote this, you directed this, you're in it. That's not easy. What? Why did you do this? But it's
I
like,
yeah, yeah, I had to play Hal for some reason. Always I've made two movies, and both movies I would have died and like loved for someone else to play the lead in. For Hal Harper, I was always Hal. I like felt in my body no one is going to play Hal in the way that I need Hal to be played. And he's so me in so many different ways, and what his biggest fears are my biggest fears. And I if I had a older sister that was as enabling as Harper, I feel like I would be just like Hal. I'm like the oldest of two sisters and don't have not been afforded that, but I just the way he's afraid of feeling things, and the way he avoids going into things, and the way he doesn't like to be alone, and it just I really, but that it's not just like a character of that. It's like it I knew I knew how he operated inside of all of those things, and it just I knew everything so well that it didn't feel, it was extremely hard and extremely difficult to like have the hours in the day that I needed, and I wasn't getting enough sleep. And I truly will never direct an act again. Like, I swear to my partner that I'll never do it again. But I just had to do it one last time with HAL HARPER, and I'm really grateful that everyone around me was so supportive, and it all just is just a collaboration. It's like, I always say, like, directing is not nearly as hard when you just think of it as like we're all trying to just direct the scene in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, we got to wrap it up, but I think you made a really remarkable series, and I think a lot of people will relate to it. Really beautifully done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
You're safe. All of the feelings are safe.
There's more to life than family.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joe Blow was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.